This is a true story. 5 divers were conducting an underwater operation when, at the moment they opened a valve, the enormous pressure difference caused them to be sucked into the pipeline, along with their equipment, as if they had been swallowed by a black hole. Fortunately, they were trapped in a higher section of the pipeline, where the water had not yet completely filled the space, allowing them to have some oxygen to breathe. As they regained consciousness, they realized that 2 of their companions had suffered fractures due to the impact, while the others had minor injuries. Faced with total darkness and the strong smell of the oil-water mixture, despair began to take hold of the group. But then, someone said, "Waiting here to die is not an option. We have to try to get out." That phrase ignited a spark of hope. Despite the pain, they began crawling forward slowly, like centipedes, trying to find an exit. After an hour of dragging themselves through the pipeline, the diver in the lead, Christopher Boudrum, noticed that the water level was rising. Moving forward meant diving completely, but without diving equipment and with 2 injured team members, the attempt could be fatal. At that moment, Boudrum made a tough decision. He would go alone. "If I make it out, I'll bring help. If I don't return, you know what happened." With that promise, he took a deep breath and plunged into the darkness. With each passing second, the air in his lungs diminished, and the feeling of suffocation intensified. But then, his hands touched something, an oxygen tank. With renewed hope, he used it to keep moving forward. For another 30 minutes, he swam blindly, unsure if he would ever find a way out. As his oxygen ran out, he miraculously found another tank. That gave him the strength to continue until, after more than 20 minutes of swimming in the dark, he sensed a turn in the pipeline. With his heart pounding, he swam upward, and then he surfaced. With the last of his strength, he shouted for help. 2 colleagues from the platform heard him and rushed to rescue him. Already on the boat, Christopher desperately insisted that an immediate rescue be launched. But despite his pleas, the company hesitated. Technicians were sent to assess the situation and confirmed that the trapped divers were still alive, responding to sounds inside the pipeline. However, the company claimed that the rescue operation would be too risky and costly, so they decided to abandon them. 4 days later, they announced that the divers had died. The medical report revealed that the men had survived until the 4th day, but ultimately succumbed to the lack of oxygen. What could have been one of the most astonishing rescues in history turned into a tragedy, driven by corporate decisions that prioritized profit over human life. The sole survivor, Christopher Boudrum, took the company to court, but the case remains unresolved.